The title of our presentation is Metadata of Linguistic Field Research in RDF. Metadata organization is one of the crucial techniques for linguistics data archiving, conservation, management, usage, and citation. We propose a data model to represent metadata in linked open data, or LOD, with resource description framework, also known as RDF. So what is LOD and what is RDF? LOD, linked open data, also known as the semantic web, is a web of data of dates and titles and part numbers and chemical properties and any other data one might conceive of. The famous example of linked open data is Wikidata and cross-linguistic linked data used in WOS. Linked open data can be written by RDF, or Resource Description Framework. RDF provides the foundation for publishing and linking your data. Various techniques allow you to embed data in documents or expose what you have in SQL databases or make it available as RDF files. There are various ways of representing linguistics metadata. Recently, lameta has been released. Data structure could be a new standard format for metadata of linguistic field data. But metadata in other formats, such as IMDI and OLAC, have already been produced. The compatibility and searchability among those could be an issue. So we proposed linked open data with RDF. Here's our sample metadata depicted with our data model. And as you can see this figure, this is a network model with subject, predicate, and object. In this example, S001 represents the ID of the speaker 1, and D-C 90, 91, and 92 are session IDs. All the relationships are represented by triplets of subject, predicate, and object. For example, the statement the speaker 001 was born in 1916 is represented as in example number 1. Note that this example is sloppy and there are other requirements for actual notation. Since it does not have restrictions on, for example, how many objects subjects can have, it is flexible and powerful. Currently, we are building an ontology for metadata and are going to make it available online. In this presentation, propose 5 advantages of RDF. RDF is a flexible framework expressing various kinds of relations. It has the following advantages over, for example, relational databases and spreadsheets. We are going to see each advantage in detail. Okay, firstly, metadata in different formats can be represented in RDF. For example, in table A, sound files and video files are put in different columns, whereas in table B, both audio and video files are put in the same column. In RDF, you can represent both formats in the same way as in the figures above. You can use the predicate media file for both tables, or you can use the predicate sound file and video file for table A and media file for table B and associate these predicates in ontology. Secondly, RDF can represent a table unsuitable format. There could be multiple speakers participating in a session. For example, in one session, there could be just a single speaker, but in another session, there could be 10 speakers, for example. In a table format, you need 10 columns from speaker 1 to speaker 10. But in RDF, you can add any number of speakers for each session. Okay. The third advantage is that it can represent data in different degrees of granularity. Missing information does not cause any problems in RDF. Some metadata could have detailed information about speakers, such as the date of birth, where they have lived, which school they graduated from, whether they are literate or not, something like that. Others could only have less detailed information, which does not cause any problems in RDF. The fourth advantage is that it's easily extendable. The model can be extended easily to represent other information. RDF always assumes partial information, and all the models are open to being extended. For example, if we want to represent the relationships between speakers, you need another table in table format. On the other hand, RDF does not have such restrictions. You can just add another statement linking speakers as the figure shows. The last point is related to the fourth point. You can make use of other RDF models. It's a kind of model extension. There are wide varieties of LOD available, probably online. So for example, if you want a correspondence of Japanese era calendar with Christian era calendar, this model is already available. You don't have to make the data from scratch. This is another example of extension. Okay, this is where we are now. This is a metadata spreadsheet shared by several linguists. It's a sample data and not the real one because the real sheet is full of private information. This is session IDs, file names, date of the recording, speaker IDs and the investigator IDs, and also the place of recording, the kind of recorder and the kind of microphone, and so on and so forth. We also have another tab of devices. This is a list of recorders, microphones, and cameras. And this is the list of speakers, their names, their address, phone numbers, date of birth, something like that. And we also have the list of investigators. Okay, and we are going to convert this spreadsheet into RDF format, which looks like this. We are currently building ontology for linguistic metadata. Also, we need to determine the language code. In ISO 639, we only have a few language codes for languages, Japonic languages and dialects. So we need to decide what code to use. We can add more codes to ISO 639, or we can use Glotlog code, where there are more codes than ISO 639. Finally, we also need region code in Japan. We have region code made by the government, which only cover prefectures, cities, towns, and villages. But we need more detailed region code. Okay, conclusion. We propose a data model to represent linguistic metadata in linked open data with resource description framework. Thank you.